So I come to tell you He's alive, to tell you that He dries every tear that falls.
It's Christmas time, and so we think about family and loved ones. Well, did you know in the Bible days, family was very important? As a matter of fact, family trees and records of family were very, very important. When you read Matthew chapter 1, you have the genealogy, the family tree of the Lord Jesus Christ. And in that family tree, God shows us His amazing grace. Hey, this is Clint Louie, and I'm coming to you with 5 minutes from friendship. Thank you for being with me today. I appreciate it so very much. But here in Matthew 1, we have the family tree of the Lord Jesus Christ, and there are 4 women included in that tree. Now, in Bible days, including the names of women in the family tree was not common. You see, they record it from father to son, father to son, father to son. But the Lord included the names of four specific women. And in the lives of those 4 women, you find God's grace. So what I'd like to do with you is show you those women. And I want you to think about their stories and the grace of God in their stories. And then I want you to think about our stories, your story. And how does God's grace work in your life? Can I tell you, I'm thankful for God's grace, His amazing grace, His kindness, the love that He has for us, the kindness, the favor of God that I did not deserve. So let's look at these 4 women. Matthew 1 verse 1 tells us the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. And as you continue reading, you come to the first of the 4 women. Her name was Tamar. Now in Tamar's life, if you read her story in Genesis chapter 38, you find that she tricked her father-in-law into conceiving a baby with her. He didn't know it was her. But she tricked him. They conceived a baby. You say, what's good about that? It's what God did with that baby. God took that baby and made him an ancestor to the Lord Jesus Christ. Lesson number 1, God's grace can bring forth good even out of evil. I don't know what evils plagued your life, but I can tell you this, God's grace can bring forth good even out of evil. Let's go to the second woman. Her name was Rahab. We often call her Rahab the harlot. Rahab the harlot. Oh, what a past she had in her harlotry, her whoredoms. And the only love she knew came with a price tag. You can read about her story in Joshua chapter 2, but you know what we discover from Rahab? Lesson number 2. God's grace is greater than our past. Rahab the harlot? Oh yes, she became an ancestor to the Lord Jesus Christ. God looked beyond her past, and His grace is greater than our past. Let's go to the third of the women. Her name was Ruth, a Moabitess, a stranger to Israel, a woman who was a widow. She had nothing, and she was in a strange land. She had no one there. She had nothing. But lesson number 3, we find that God's grace redeems the one with nothing. Can't you see His grace as Boaz paid the price, the legal purchase price, to redeem her? So she's no longer Ruth the Moabitess, Ruth the widow, Ruth the poor. She's Ruth, the wife of Boaz. God's grace redeems the one with nothing. And then number 4, the fourth of the women was a woman named Bathsheba. Bathsheba, you remember, she committed adultery with King David. They conceived a child, and that child died. Oh, how tragic. But she married David. She became his wife. And God's grace, lesson number 4, God's grace keeps us in the love of God. After they married, God gave them another child. And then God had a special name for that child, a name that meant beloved of God, and telling us that God's grace will keep you, no matter your failures. He'll keep you in the love of God. He'll never stop loving you. The grace of God and the family tree of the Lord Jesus. This is Clint Louie. You have a great day.